When genuinely announced Peach and me, I hadn't time to question what's left to tell. Nearly they ended with their marriage. But after finishing the series, I realized Peach and me wasn't able to tell another love story. It said love is just a beginning. And that's why I want to talk about both the series and how they completely changed the way I look at love. Before they entered each other's life, they are both same and different. They and Peach understood survival in a different way. As he is made to look out, said anger was the only way enough people move away from with fear, carry a gun, have a lot of body parts on him. And Peach learned survivor while living in an orphanage, running away from his abusive father. Living alone, looking out for his sister from a very young age. Both of them are really cautious and allowing the person inside their life. He is surrounded by bodyguards and Peach is surrounded by people at his office. Yet, they spend most of their lives living alone. When P and Peach meet, it's an unequal relationship. Both hides the part of their lives from each other, but slowly the walls they built started cracking and the true self started coming out. And my favorite scene comes when Peach is attacked by his co-worker. He saves him. He closes his ears as he knows Peach is afraid of the gun. And for the first time, Peach cries because someone is willing to choose someone other than himself. And slowly, they started trusting each other, became safe space for each other. And they started carrying a gun. Learn photograph, learn an instrument. And they learned that he doesn't need to be strong always. And we started taking Pete to the places he loved. He took him to the photography gig he had and places to eat and orphanage he grew up. And Peach learned that he doesn't always need to be alone. And slowly they become each other's safe space. Not only because they love each other, but they slowly learn how to trust each other. But what happens after the wedding? Most traumas end here. But Peach and me starts here. And you can see Peach openly expressing himself to Tim. He says he loves him always. He says I always stand with you. He says it to everyone. Writes a song. Gets jealous when he gets near to an actor. And learns how to shoot and fight to protect the people he loved the most. But still passionate about the photography. He is still himself. Confident, determined, but is vulnerable and open about how he is feeling. And he knows that Peach is the person he wants to share it with. He knows how photography is part of Peach and built a photography gallery through Peach. And what I love about this series is no one loses their identity. And they are the same people who, that's the earliest love, which doesn't erase your individuality. Peach and Kay aren't the only ones who changed my perspective of love. But the other couples taught me there are different versions of love. One who grew up same as they in constant violence and survival. Or gave the safe space where he can be playful, express what he's feeling, feel vulnerable, and not allowed him for who he is. And Rome made not trust himself. Constantly reminded him his that he never wanted Mock to become someone else. He just wanted to say that Mock is a person who he wants to spend time with the whole life. And he wanted Mock to see himself the way Rome already did. And Dhawan and Anand explored the second chances. Instead of giving up, they chose to work on their problems. And Dhawan became a better version of himself when he found out what he's losing because of his anger, ego and jealousy. And Naran gave Dhawan a chance, not because of only love. Or he can change Dhawan with love, but he trusted Dhawan that he can change. Growing up, I always had these questions about love. Should someone adjust, change themselves, or sacrifice a lot, lose themselves completely, suffer in silence, etc.? I may not have found all the answers, but I started to understand love differently. It's like love doesn't erase trauma, it simply gives you someone who makes healing a little less lonely. And you can love someone deeply and still be yourself, or we start to appreciate yourself more than before. And he started smiling more. Paige found it is safe enough to cry. Rome is playful with mouth and won't believe he's enough. Pawan changed himself and Anand stayed through with him. I think love isn't built through grand gestures, but through showing up every single day. And love isn't what people say it is. It is what people remember. It can be seen in remembering their favorite food or their coffee order. Remembering what they fear and making space for them and becoming a safe space for them without them asking. And coming home to the same person, choosing them again and again. And I think this is the version of love we all need. Before watching the series, I expected another funny and romantic drama. Instead, I found one of the healthiest portrayals of love I have seen in a long time. Not because relationships are perfect, but because love isn't fixing your partner, but it's walking beside them while they slowly become the best versions of themselves. Maybe that's what real love is. And if you ask me what is love, I still don't have an answer. But if I have to say what I understood from the series, love is finding someone who makes you feel safe enough to become yourself completely. And I hope all of you find someone who makes you feel safe enough to become the best version of yourself.